Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. In today's video, we are getting started by showing you this client's nails. This set that she has on is on my channel. I will link it in the cards for you. As you can see, it's had considerable growth and it looks pretty good. There was very minimal lifting. She had it about 4 to 5 weeks. So I'm just showing you a little bit of my removal process. I normally don't, and I have a video showing this in extent. I will link that in the cards for you if you want to check that out as well. But I'm using my 5-in-1. This is a 3 times coarse, so extra coarse safety bit. It's what I like to use. I think the teeth are nice and sharp. It really helps to remove the acrylic very quickly. And I'm using my Young Nails dust collector, as you can see. So I have my speed all the way up on my Coupa Me file, all the way up to 35,000 RPM. So this is super duper fast. So for me, the trick is just to use extremely light pressure. I do not press down on the client's nails when removing sets, because the speed is so high, you do not want to potentially burn your client. They might get like a friction burn just from the speed and the super duper like heavy grit of the bit. So I will link the bit below. It's a bit that I get from Amazon from a company called Pana. It is my favorite. I have the 2 times coarse, but I prefer the 3. It's just a little bit grittier and helps to remove the acrylic a little faster. So I do have this sped up just a tiny bit. I think it's sped up to like 1.4. But yeah, as you can see, the removal process isn't really difficult. This client has an acrylic overlay. So these are her natural nails. She is adamant on growing them out, so there is no tip underneath. So to prep her nails, I like to place a clear acrylic layer down underneath all of the designs that we apply. So when it comes to removing, I have a really nice base to look for when in terms of removing the color. So I had that nice chocolatey brown color. As you can see, as I get lower and lower through the product, you're gonna see her natural nail kind of come through. There might be other colors on there just because it's her natural nail, and we don't take everything off completely. We just kind of build up on whatever we have. But as you can see, at this point, I'm basically down to the nail plate of her nail, as far as the nail bed part, not necessarily the tip. So on the free edge, I am just removing for bulk. But as you can see, I am not digging down into the nail plate area of her nail. There is a bit of lifting, a tiny bit, if you can see by my thumb, of white product. That means that that area has lifted. So I'm just going to use the tip of the bit to kind of flick that away. I'm using extremely light pressure, but this is basically just a little, as you can see, I'm flicking that, lifted area away, as well as on this side. We just want to get it. I am not using this bit on the natural nail. It will eat through that nail and you will hurt your client. Just be very careful. I also feel good about it because it's a safety, so I know that I'm not going to cut her. If the top part of this bit touches the sidewall, like there, I can touch her sidewall a tiny bit and know that I'm not going to hurt the client. So this is just a quick, I just put this in here just so that you could see this is what it looks like when clients come in to remove a set. You can totally see her complete natural nail, and there is a layer of acrylic on all of these nails beforehand. So then we're going to start prepping like we normally do. I am spraying her down with some Young Nails Swipe and pushing her cuticles back, just pushing the skin back to expose any cuticle that might be laying on the nail plate, any of that sticky stuff that we want to get rid of. That way we have a good base to kind of reapply a new enhancement. Now I'm going in with my diamond Skiver Bit. It's a pointy, I guess like toothpick kind of bit, and I really enjoy this. It is a diamond bit, so it's safe for the natural nail, and I have the e-file fairly slow. My Coupa Me file does not have an LED screen or a display to show the RPM, and there's no numbers on the dial, so it's all by feel. I wish it did, but for me, I kind of got it down now where I can kind of feel the speed of the bit and know, this is what I can do here, this is what I can't do. So for this process, because I am working on that natural nail, I am not using this e-file at very high speed. If it touches the skin, it's not going to cut or damage her, and I'm making sure to keep the bit, as you can see, very flat to the nail. If you angle it upwards, you might dig into the nail and cause rings of fire, which we do not want. You're damaging the nail when you do that. So I'm just getting it right up under the skin, and as you can see, we're getting considerable amount of cuticle up off that nail. I think we were talking about a show or something. But yeah, I'm just scraping off any of that dead skin that's on the surface of the nail. It may not look like it, but as you can see, the Skiver Bit is getting it up and off the nail. I will be doing this in the forward direction from right to left, and then I'm going to flip my e-file in the reverse, I guess reverse way. And then do it from left to right, just to make sure that I get everything up off the nail from both directions. I don't know what happened, but I definitely did not, I don't know if maybe my camera paused a little bit, but I didn't get the footage of me using a fine sanding band to then buff the natural nail to remove the shine. So after I use my Skiver Bit, that is the next step that I normally do. We're just gonna go in though into prep. So I'm using the normal prep that I always use on my channel. This is the Mia Secret Dehydrator. The purpose of this is just to remove any oil or moisture that is on the nail. We want this enhancement to stick, and it does that best on a dry surface with no oils to kind of combat with that adhesion. Then I'm going to go in with a layer of primer. This is the Extra Bond primer from Mia Secret, and then I like to go in once this dries with a thin coat of the Young Nails Protein Bond. Once we are done with all the prep, it is time to lay the foundation. So like I mentioned earlier, this client and all my clients, as far as I can remember, sometimes I forget, but I am going in with a nice clear bead of acrylic, usually towards the back end of the nail. For her, I do like to just extend a little bit of acrylic down the length of the nail, especially in that removal process. I might thin it out a little bit. As you can see, I went back to the nail, and I'm just adding a thin coat of clear down the length of her nail so that we don't have any staining. On one of the fingers you see a little bit of blue. That was from like the first time I did her nails, and I did not do that, but the blue doesn't bother either of us. I'm just basically coating her entire nail. This is basically the backfill or the infill for her here with the clear acrylic, and then we will build on top of that. It's a very runny, wet layer, and this is just to secure her nails and keep them protected so that when we go in with a removal next time, I don't damage her nails. Just like how you saw when I was removing, I stopped at that clear layer. This is the clear layer that I'm just placing. I'm focusing on just making sure that we don't flood the cuticle or sidewall area, and then we have a nice base to build this design on. So now that all that boring stuff is out of the way, it is time for the design. So I was inspired by a set that I saw from D Nail Slayer. It was a Jade inspired set. So actually when she came in, I had the plans to do this exact design in different colors. I had like a baby blue and like a deep blue and like a white, right? To do like a marble kind of geode look. And she came in and she was just like, I like the idea, but can we use greens? And I was like, yes, let's do it in green. So we're starting off with a nice clean base. It's a little bit lighter and sheerer than the color that she had before. This is called Bear from Sugar and Cream. It is a soft nail plate nude, very similar to her natural nail color, but it's a little bit pinkier. And I'm just using this to kind of give a nice base so that we have an even coat of color on all of the nails. I'm doing that on every single nail except for her ring finger. Normally, if I was going to do this set, I would leave the tips clear, but because we're doing this on her natural nail, we have that natural pigment from the tip of her nail. It's basically a natural tip kind of look. So I figured the best thing to do would be to add that same bare color to the tips of these nails and then just build that marble green jade look in the middle, so that way the tip at least would be a consistent color as the cuticle area of her nail. So that's what I'm going to do on all of the nails. I am marbling these two beautiful colors. One is a deep kind of turquoise green from Sugar and Cream. It is called Ivy. I actually used it in another video. I will link that in the cards for you. A nice simple set with a white marble with gold foil. And the other color is a Mia Secret punch color. I think it's called Pistachio. So it's a nice mix of like a teal, turquoisey kind of green and more of a soft lime green, I guess you can say, with a little bit of shimmer. Then I am surrounding that area of the marble that I did diagonally on this nail with some gold foil. You can't go wrong with foil on a nail, and I'm just making sure that we can see a little bit of the cuticle area and see that tip of the nail that we covered with the same bare acrylic color at the same time. I'm going to do this on all of the nails except for the ring finger. On the ring finger, we're going to do a full length marble nail with the two colors. So again, I'm using the same bare color on the tip of the nail. It also helps to just camouflage any staining that might be on her natural nail. We kind of want it to be a nice clean base for this design. And then once that's placed and I have enough coverage, I'm just gonna marble those two beautiful green colors in the middle of her nail, kind of going in a diagonal from the top right to the bottom left. And there's no rhyme or reason. I just didn't want one color to kind of overpower another. It's a soft marble, and I wanted there to just be hints of the darker green and a little bit of the lighter green. And while the acrylic is still wet, as you can see, I'm just going to start placing those gold foil pieces in them, just kind of to adhere to that wet acrylic that's kind of sitting in that area. And I'm going to be using larger pieces and then tiny pieces that I've shredded just on the outside, so that it's not like a solid piece. You kind of want it to, like, I guess, ombre the foil on each side of the green, but you know what I mean. I'm just placing tinier pieces so that we have a little bit of variation. So I had totally forgotten to add gold foil to this full nail. So we're just going to be adding some pieces randomly in the same diagonal manner on the ring finger. I totally forgot. She was like, don't forget. I was like, oops, my bad, girl. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing here. Just placing those gold foil pieces on this ring finger. And this set was looking really, really pretty, but I was like, you know what? We can add a tiny bit of shimmer. I love the glitter, right? So I'm taking a super duper wet bead of clear acrylic. I'm running it down the length of the nail. One, to give us something to stick this ether flakes to. This is the, the iGel Beauty Ether Flakes in F21. So it reflects more of a green color. It's really, really gorgeous. One, I'm using the clear acrylic. As you can see, it's super duper wet. The way that I just smashed it on that nail to kind of get the ether flakes to stick to. Also, the second reason is because I didn't use any acrylic to stick those gold foil pieces onto the nail. I just used a kind of wet monomer and any wet acrylic that might have been there. If I go into clear cap without making sure that these gold foil pieces are adhered to the nail, when I'm brushing down that product to the nail, sometimes the gold foil will kind of slide down the length of the nail, and that's not what I wanted. So this is a double-edged kind of like benefit here of using the clear acrylic to kind of keep those flakes where I want them to be, and then to add some sparkle as well. So I'm just placing those ether flakes along the gold foil for the most part. I just kind of want it to sit on the edges where the gold foil is, and it just added a small amount of dimension and sparkle to the nails that I think, you know, ended up looking good. And now it is time to clear cap. So I'm using the Young Nails Core Clear, and I'm clear capping her nails as best as possible. We want to protect this gorgeous design that we went in and made. And one thing to consider with these nails is, as you can see, this is the client's natural nails. They naturally curve over her fingers as they grow out. So I have to build up a little bit of thickness on the nail to kind of keep it in that straight, to have a straight appearance. Otherwise the nails will curve over the nail. So she's totally fine with this, having the free edge of the nails be slightly thicker. She actually appreciates it because she's really tough with her nails. She like lost all of the rhinestones on that previous set and was just kind of like, I don't know what I was doing, but I was being really rough. So that's why the nails might look a little bit thicker. It's because her nails naturally curve, and to correct that curve, I'm adding a little bit more product on the free edge of her nails to give it a straight appearance. After the clear cap, I'm going in with a medium narrow carbide bit. This is that pretty tungsten purpley kind of color that you see in the bits. This is from Pana as well. So it's a medium carbide bit. It is not a safety, so you must be careful. And I have my e-file at a medium to high speed here, and I am just smoothing out the surface of the nail, going around very carefully around the cuticle area from right to left, or left to right if you're left-handed. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just cleaning up the surface of the nail, getting rid of any lumps and bumps. Occasionally, you might see me swipe my thumb over the length of the nail. That's just in case I need to feel anything, especially because we encapsulated some foil in there. Sometimes the foil may not be laying flat on the nail. You just kind of want it to have a really nice smooth surface. I'm also going to be debulking where necessary, so you might see me spend a little bit more time on that free edge. Like I mentioned, I do add a bit more product there just to kind of correct the curve in her nail, but I use the e-file here to kind of lessen that if necessary, and to clean up the sidewalls as well. Once I'm happy after e-filing, I'm going in with my hand file. This is a 100 grit hand file, and I'm just cleaning up the sides and making sure that that free edge is nice and sharp. I like to do this. I like to spray the client's hands down anyway. After sending them to go wash their hands, I'm spraying her down with wipe and using a manicure brush to kind of clean off, dehydrate the nails, and get rid of any dust and or debris that might be sitting on the nail, or any oils that might be there from soaps or anything like that. It gives me a nice base for this top coat. So to finish this set off, we're just going in with a nice glossy top coat. This is the Beetles No Wipe Glossy Top Coat. It is just going to make everything come to life, and you're going to see that beautiful green marble. It's a really soft, subtle marble, and the gold foil and those ether flakes we added in there just gives us a little bit of shimmer, because you know shimmer's great and everybody loves shimmer. And then I'm gonna have her cure for 60 seconds, and then the set is basically done. Here is what that set ended up looking like. I really hope you enjoyed it. I think it was so nice and she loved it. Definitely like if you like, subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you'll watch some more from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.